Welcome to the Refine and Shine, the podcast dedicated to mastering the art of continuous improvement and optimizing every aspect of your life. I'm Angelina Rivera, your host, and together we'll uncover the secrets to refining our lives, our habits, and our processes to unlock our inner brilliance. Join us on Refine and Shine, where we'll delve deep into achieving more in life without the burnout and without all the stress. This podcast is your platform for a more fulfilling life through continuous improvement and personal growth. In each episode, I and a diverse array of guests discuss practical strategies for up-leveling every aspect of your life. From developing good habits and organizing your space to refining your mindset and personal goals, we're going to explore it all. Our guests share personal stories about the systems they've developed or systems they've used and the tweaks they've made in their lives when refinement was needed, allowing them to truly shine. Listen to Refine and Shine to learn how you can implement continuous improvement techniques in your daily routine, develop and maintain healthy habits that lead to success and satisfaction, organize your life to reduce the stress and increase your productivity, foster a growth mindset that propels you to new heights. My mission is to inspire you to take bold action, make positive changes, and become the best version of yourself. Whether you're aiming to elevate your career, nurture meaningful relationships, or enhance your overall well-being, Refine and Shine is your guiding light. With over 25 years of experience in continuous improvement, I help businesses streamline their processes, establish efficient work areas, and implement standard work protocols. I have trained over 600 individuals and teams in process improvement, optimizing workflows, and enhancing overall operational efficiency. Tune in every week as we embark on an enlightening journey, exploring paths to refinement and illuminating the way to shine in every area of our lives. Subscribe now and join us on this journey to polish your life and let your best self shine through. Thank you for joining us on Refine and Shine. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Refine and Shine podcast. I'm super excited about my guest, as I'm always with my guests, but we have this bond, and we'll talk about it through the podcast, but we just have this bond when we first met, and it's just been truly amazing, and I've loved watching her shine and bloom and into the woman she is today, and she just is a ray of sunshine, I would say. And so I'm super excited today to have my guest, Tina Baden. She is a distinguished health and wellness expert with over 3 decades of experience in healthcare. She holds a doctor's of nursing practice. She's a DNP and recently retired after 32 years in the field, including 20 years as a certified nurse practitioner specializing in trauma and in hospital care. She is passionate about holistic well-being. She recently completed a functional nutrition certification focused on using food as medicine to optimize health. She continues to educate and inspire others through her podcast, Bloom with Tina and Kelsey, where she shares insights on wellness, personal growth, and balanced living. She's also an event planner and a proud ambassador with some supplements, Plexus. She has been married for 30 years, and she's the mother of 25-year-old triplets. Yes, you heard that right, 25-year-old triplets, who were born at just 26 weeks after a 5-year journey through infertility, an experience that deepened her empathy and commitment to helping others thrive. I just want to say thank you, Tina, for being on here today.
Thank you so much, Angelina, for asking me. What a privilege and honor to be your guest today.
You're welcome. And I just think that it's just so much that we could talk about. In fact, prior to us starting to record, we were talking about all these things and we're like, okay, that's going to be a different podcast. That'll be a different podcast, because we just are able to just have such connection. And I just love that. And so I know one of the things we want to talk about is, how did we meet, right? I think that's really important, because not only that was our first time we ever met, and it was in April of 2023. We went to an event, which I always tell people, put yourself into rooms. You never know who you can meet. Put yourself into rooms. And even if there's delays for this particular event, it was a 1-day event, and I had flown in. My flight was almost delayed. Well, it was delayed. I had to find a different flight. They lost my luggage. I didn't get it until halfway through the event, but we had to go through different places. They kept making us shift and move to different places, which I think is also important when you go to an event. Do not sit by your best friend. go and meet somebody. And in one of the practices or one of the exercises, me and Tina got to sit next to each other. And we just connected. And Tina, why don't you share your little bit about that?
Yeah, it was an exciting time. It was in Dallas. It was one of Brooke Hemingway's events that she hosts. And Angelina came up to my table and, I just started talking to her about my work. And I was a nurse practitioner, like she said, over 20 years in trauma. And then the last 10 years, I've been a hospitalist at an organization in town here. And I, I didn't have the feeling that I was going to leave at that time, but yet it was after that event and after some of the speakers. And we were sitting together, and she told me a little bit about her story. And we decided on a date that both of us would retire by. And so I put that on a piece of paper. We will retire by. And do you remember the date? It was April 1st, 2025. And since then, I actually retired sooner than that. I retired the end of December 2023. So I did actually retire after that after meeting her. But what it would have been like a year and 4 months before that actual date.
Hmm.
But since then, Angelina and I have been quite close, and I've attended her time management course, and just has been so blessed to be known as your friend.
Oh, yes, thank you for that. And what's important is that not only I knew that I didn't retire yet, but what I did do was leave a job in December of 2023 was my last that 30 December I think it was 28th or 29th was the last of 2023. So December 2023 was also big for us, is that I had left a job that I had been working at for 17 and a half years into a whole new landscape, a whole new arena of just different possibilities. The
Right.
both of it, both of these changes in our lives allowed us to have some time freedom. It allowed us to pursue our purposes, what we felt God put on our heart. And I think that was so insignificant because in that event that we had went to, we had heard speakers talking about like, are we living or are we living? And like we both
Yes.
were talking about that. It was like, oh, we're
Yes.
so like 12-hour days, all the heaviness. I was in production, in the hospital care, and we were working long days, and it was heavy stuff that we were dealing with. And now we're able to do things a little differently. We both started our podcast. Um,
Yep.
and we're just pursuing other things. I mean, you're doing your event planning. She just recently told me earlier before we started recording, she even has a new business that she's doing with her husband. And it's all of these things that, when God puts that like thing on your heart, like maybe you should do this, you don't just think about it. Like we signed a contract, a little contract we did, but we like, how is this, like, how can we make this possible? Instead of saying, oh no, this isn't possible. It's like, wait, how can I do this? And listening to those whispers of things that you can do in order to make that happen. I think that's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, and that is exactly what I felt. And it all started at the conference. It was actually Thomas Hemingway, Brooke Hemingway's husband, his speech that he gave. I remember him saying, "Get out of the box." You don't have to live in that, 6 by 6 foot box office that you have. And I was picturing myself in the office that I had at the time, no windows, 12-hour shifts. And it's like ever since that conference, I kept getting these taps on my shoulder, like you there's more out there for you. You can do more. You are meant for more. There's more of you that you can do that's out there. And so that was just the start. That was just the start. And I just um kept getting those God winks, for months. And then until I finally decided that, you know what, it is time. And it's when your life gets in aligned, and it was those God taps. And there were a few reasons why I retired early. I am 55 years old now, but the number one reason, was God and my faith. And I knew that I wanted to get closer to God and learn more about Him. And when you're working 12-hour shifts as a nurse practitioner every other weekend, you don't get that opportunity to go to church every week that I wanted to in my heart. And so that was the number one reason. And since then, I joined the choir at church. I joined bells. I go to two different Bible studies. It has brought me closer to my faith. And the second reason is my daughter at the time accepted a job in Ireland. And I knew as a nurse practitioner, there's no way I would be able to go visit her. Who in their right mind is going to work 10 days in a row for me to go to Ireland? And with that, in our contracts, they were cutting our vacation from 4 weeks down to 3 weeks. And I'm not going to have enough time to take care of myself for my self-care, let alone go see my daughter. So that was a big issue with me, and a big reason for me to say that I was done. And then the third reason was the health and wellness business that I was doing, Plexus at the time, and I'm still doing that. But I just wanted to do more, and I knew that there was more inside of me, that I could be doing in that area. And I always felt that I have more people to help than just the people in the hospital, but there's more of an audience that I can help. So,
I think that that's so important. Like we'll touch on all three things, but let's start with the last one that you said is that there's more people to touch. And you are doing that because, and it's very important because people are like, you didn't, you still have this, care to help people. But when people are, you want to help them before they have to get into the hospital, right?
right,
You want to help them
right.
at the beginning of their journey. And then that's so important with this nutrition certification you just got done doing, helping people with supplements and helping them like moving their bodies and doing all the things. And you've even done events to help people get into that healthy mind state. And I think that that's so important. The gatherings that you've curated, you had one recently, and not that long ago, where you had people coming in to do uh, doing yoga and
Yeah,
all of these things. You have the sound bath and all these other things. And I think that that's
yeah.
important because everybody thinks that medication is always the answer, and you can share with people that there is more out there than just actually taking the medication. There's things that we can do to our bodies, to help our bodies move our bodies, feed our bodies without having to go first to medication. And I think that
E-
you seeing that is a great thing.
exactly. That is exactly what I learned through taking this course is, yes, and I do believe in medication. I believe in our healthcare system. However, there are other things that we can do, for our bodies and for our self-care. It starts with sleep. Your sleep. How many hours of sleep are you getting? Are you moving your body and exercising? What kind of foods are you eating? That are going into your system, because food alone is medicine, and it's your spiritual health, you
Mhm.
know, and your mental health. So there's so much more than just medicine out there to help someone.
Yes, I think that's so important, and I love that you are doing that. And another thing that you shared, I mean, the second reason you shared was to be with your daughter, but not only to be able to
Right.
visit your daughter, but just to also make sure that you can take care of yourself as well. And I think that so
Exactly.
many people try to like, they think like, let's put everybody first, let's take care of this, let's take care of this. And then what you give yourself is the leftovers. And, I've taught you, you mentioned my time management course, and this is one of the things I teach people is that you have to take care of yourself first. And when you are working on your calendar or you are planning out for your week or whatever you're doing, you've got to put in those times for yourself. Because if you're
Yes.
not putting those times in for yourself, then it's yourself first and then your family and then everything else. You are telling yourself that you're a leftover, and that's not how God wants us to be.
Right, right. And I do that, Angelina, every single month. I start with when is my massage? When is my haircut getting done? When am I getting my nails done? All of those things are things that you need to do for yourself. And what trip am I going to, or what road trip am I going to this month? That is so important to take care of yourself, you know?
Yes, I think it's
So,
so important. And then the major thing you said is to grow your faith. And I have seen
yeah.
you doing so many things with your church. And not only that, I mean, you even when we were talking prior to the recording, you've even helped your church, with the cups that you started to do, or things like that. And so joining the choir and the bells, I mean, 2 Bible studies, I think that's
Hmm.
amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm and that's why he kept giving you that little nudge or tapping your shoulder and saying, it's time now.
Right. And the thing is, it's important to listen to those God winks. And yes, it was scary. Yes, it was there was fear, but you know what? If you've got the faith, you trust that he knows all, you know?
I love that.
So, yeah.
I think that that's so amazing. And with all of these things you've done, I mean, you're doing all these great things and you decided to retire. And so I talked a little bit about the event that you did. I know that have you done more events than that one? I know you're like an event planner. So tell us a little bit about all the things you've been doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had an event last fall. It was called Soulful Serenity, and it was a day of self-care and wellness. And like you said, yeah, it was amazing. I had probably about 20 different ladies here, and part of it was meditation and prayer and yoga, and I did a walk through the pine trees in our backyard to our church. It's like 6 houses down where we have a prairie garden. And I had a lady from our church talk to us about that. And then we came back and had a sound bath. And I had what, maybe I could fit 17 ladies in my pool, and they were all floating on floaties. And I gave everybody a gift with silk eye masks that they can put over their eyes so they can lay in the warm heated pool and relax while she's doing the sound bath. And it was so awesome. So I'm looking forward to doing that, hosting that again this year. And so I've been doing that. I started a podcast. It's called Bloom with Tina and Kelsey, and it's on Spotify and iHeartRadio and Apple Podcast. And that has just been so, so much fun. Um, it's all about empowering women and having them follow their heart and letting them know that it is okay to go and do what you want to do that is outside of society's norms. And right now we are actually having a series called Fun. It's summer fun, and so Kelsey and I are actually going to different areas around, and taking in time and sharing that it is okay to have fun, and to spend it with your children and friends, and make every day count, you know?
I love that. I
And
love that.
yeah. And what you just mentioned, so Jeff, my husband Jeff, he's still working full time, but that entrepreneur, that brain, of mine is just goes crazy. It's like, what can we do? And I remember in our church hearing we always talk about our talents and time and treasures. Well, our one of my husband's talents is he has a laser engraver. And so what we've been doing is making these tumblers, and they're laser engraved. And we created a business, and it's called JT3 Custom. And so we just put it on Etsy this week. And this tumbler, it says everybody needs a little Jesus. And it has a little Jesus in his sandals, and I just think it's just the cutest thing.
I love it. I love it.
But so we started that, and I just wanted to do something that him and I have something to do together, you know. So
I love
anyway,
that.
yeah.
I, I would also love you to share just briefly, real quick. Not only you've gone through your faith, you are, you brought in, went really deeper with God, but your husband just after you retired, your husband also did something locally with one of his kidneys or something like that.
Oh
Did he
yeah,
not? Yeah.
yeah. So it was last May I saw on Facebook. And there are some good things about social media. So my example is I saw on social media on Facebook that my neighbor was looking for a kidney donor. Her name's Janet, and she has polycystic kidney disease. And so I thought, I wonder if that's my calling. I wonder if that's what God wants me to do, and why I retired is to donate my kidney. So I told Jeff about it, and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I should sign up to do that too. Maybe I'll be a match." So we both at the same time, um, you filled out paperwork, and we sent it in, and we talked to Janet, and basically, we both got our blood drawn the same time, 15 vials of blood, and to see who's a match, see who's closer. And basically, her husband at the time was going into further testing to be her donor. Well, he actually got denied because he ended up having non-obstructive coronary artery disease
Mm.
through he had an abnormal EKG, abnormal stress test. He ended up having to have a cardiac cath. So that's what they found. So with that one diagnosis, it eliminated him from being the donor. So then it was either Jeff or me. And here it ended up, we were both a match. But then we were here that night, we're like, okay, it's either going to be you or me. And I said to him, you can drop out and then I'll be the donor. I'd be next in line. And he's like, no, I want to be the donor. You drop out. So anyway, we were basically arguing to become Janet's kidney donor. And here we're like, no, let's just wait for the doctors to decide. So we found out the next day that Jeff was a better match and that they prefer him over me because male kidneys do better
Mm.
than female kidneys as a living donor. So he became Janet's living kidney donor. So with all of that testing and testing, it was December 10th that he had surgery and donated his kidney to our neighbor, and he's doing well. We just saw her walking outside with her family just a few hours ago. So she's doing very, very well too.
I
So,
think that that's amazing. And it just kind of
yeah.
reflects on such just your heart and how you just the love that you have and how it radiates. I mean, you like who would have thought? I mean, I wouldn't even just to find that on like, that your neighbor needed that and that you guys went and
Yeah,
stepped up to the call. I think that's
yeah,
amazing. And that's just
yeah,
the kind of people that you
yeah.
guys are. I think that's
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know, God gave you two. There was a reason. But we did check around with our families just to make sure their health and kidney status is okay, before we donate it to Janet. But yet, yeah, he's doing great. So,
yeah. I love that. And so, I mean, all the things that you've been doing, I mean, since you've retired, like, I just love one of the things is that your smile. You're always
Ah,
smiling all the time. You're always laughing. And I just wanted just to, like, do you find that since you made that decision and you listen to those winks, that you find yourself happier now?
um, you know, I I'm less stressed. I have less, yeah, I'm less stressed. I have um it was during COVID, so a lot of things have changed since COVID, and that was one of the reasons why I retired, just because, people are different. Patients are different, patients' family members are different, with the trusting in the healthcare. So, but yeah, I think I'm happy, but yet I did do a podcast, and it was titled "It's Not Always Sunshine and Rainbows." There are days that I miss the the communication, the friendships, that I had, and the daily seeing your friends and hearing about their families and their kids and stuff like that. But but the opportunities that God has given me, I believe outweighs that, and the time that I am taking care of myself, and also the time that I'm taking care of others, you know, and doing what I want to do, doing what
Mhm.
I'm being called to do. So I think is outweighing that. Yes, I've spent years, through education, through becoming, a nurse, and two masters, different certifications in adult nurse practitioner, acute care nurse practitioner, and then the years getting my doctorate, Um, but that's not all of me. That's just a piece of me, you know. There's more of me than that. So,
I think that's what's important is what you shared is that, that was just a season, right? And,
yes.
we go through these seasons and while you did, I mean, 30 years, I think you were, is it 32
30,
years?
32 years, yeah.
Yeah, that's a long
Yeah.
time. And
32 years of every other weekend, you
yeah,
know? That's a lot of parties missed, graduations, weddings, funerals that I haven't been able to attend, you know?
hmm
So, but and now I get to spend it, like I said, going to church services on the weekends, and we have a lake place that we get to enjoy, and it's spending time with the people that you love.
I think that's important. And so, how many times have you been able to go to Ireland now?
I've been there 3 times.
I
Yeah,
love
three
it.
times. So 21 days total last year. And then I was there for 7 days this year. So, but my daughter is moving home. Well, I live in near Toledo, Ohio, and she works for Boston Scientific, and she lives in Bloomington, Indiana. So she'll be going back to Bloomington this September. So, but she's had amazing opportunities. She was just in Vienna, Austria last weekend. So she's been to probably 17 different countries now
Oh,
while
wow.
living in Ireland, because she can travel to Europe, you know, about every 2 to 3 weekends. She'll travel to Europe just to get that experience, and it's amazing what she's doing now as a 25-year-old. So,
Love that. It's been
yeah.
definitely more countries than I've been, for sure.
Yeah, me too. I know.
But I think that, it's just the parenting that you guys instilled in them as well, and the faith and just the working relationship that your husband and you have had that make your kids be who they are today. And so
Yeah.
I think that you should
Yeah.
take some credit for that too.
Thanks. Thank you so much for that. That means a lot.
And so what's next for you? I mean, you have so many things going. You have the
Oh my
businesses,
gosh.
What
I
if you could do anything in the world and you could get that business going right now, what would it be?
uh well, right now I'm focusing on the stainless steel tumblers that my husband is making, and that would be awesome, to uh going from the income of the nurse practitioner to nothing pretty much. It would be cool to build that up and use our talents that way. But yet I see myself coaching, probably the functional health medicine, with my background, with my doctorate as in nursing. But I can see myself coaching, but I'm not ready to start that yet. But I foresee that in the future, uh, of doing that. So keep posted. Keep posted.
Yeah. I love that. I love that
Yeah.
everything that you're sharing about. I mean, all the things that you've done instead of just retiring and not doing anything, which sometimes people do. And I get it,
Yeah.
you can get
Oh
burned out and
yeah.
things like that. But you have been taking courses still. You've done, like you did
Yeah.
my coaching program, you've done your certification program. And not only that, you're volunteering at the church, you're doing Bible study, the choir, the bells, visiting your family, going on the trips, exploring, started your podcast, you doing events. I mean, all of these great things. So I
Yeah.
think that that's amazing because you're living life, and I think that that's important.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm doing what I'm just feeling called to do at the time. I love to travel. I think last year alone, I went 9 out of the 12 months I flew somewhere, which was
Oh,
amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Um, but I can see myself doing more with the coaching and continuing the podcast because I get so much joy out of that. And different retreats, hosting more retreats about health and wellness and self-care.
I love that. I love that.
Yep.
As and I'll share. You share your links. I think you wanted your link
Sure.
tree. Not link tree. I'm sorry. LinkedIn to be shared so people can follow you and they can
and
keep.
and and Linktree, and that's another thing I need to get. It'll be JT3 custom at gmail.com is our Gmail, but I'm getting a site for that too on Instagram and Facebook. So
Yes, yes. So we'll definitely put those in the links and everything so people can follow you, but and order the amazing cups that you're doing and all the things. But before we wrap up, I would love to share or have you share something, a quote, an action, anything that anybody can do, something that you want them to take action today in order for them to refine and shine.
yeah, I just wrote this down the other day. Um, it says, if I can read my writing, it says, your potential is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back.
Oh,
And
I
that
love
was by Mark Batterson.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's something, I mean, we got to figure out whatever our potential is, God has given that us for us to do something with it.
Right. Exactly. That's why I'm like, bam, that hit me. So I'm like, I got to write that down on the top of my month of June. So
I love it. I love it. I mean, you meant the gene of the calendar you're using. I love it.
exactly.
Well, I thank you so much. And I will encourage people to, we'll put all your links in the show notes and everything so people can follow you and, just look out for when your coaching programs, your events, your next event, and all of the things and, those custom tumblers as well. So thank you
Yep.
for being an amazing guest today.
Thank you so much for asking me. I truly enjoyed seeing you and talking to you.
Yes, me too. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Refine and Shine. We hope you find valuable insights and inspiration to fill your journey of continuous improvement. Remember, the key to success lies in refining your processes and letting your inner brilliance shine. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your feedback is greatly appreciated and helps us reach more listeners like you who are eager to refine and shine in all areas of life. Stay connected with us on social media for updates and additional resources and behind the scenes content. We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out with any suggestions, questions, or success stories you'd like to share. As we wrap up, remember that the power to transform your life lies within you. Keep striving for growth, embracing change, and seeking opportunities to refine your skills. Together, let's continue to shine bright and make a positive impact in the world. Until next time, keep refining and keep shining.